Alright guys, in today's quickie, we'll be talking about public transport strikes in Ireland.
Right, okay, I just want to quickly start off here, okay? So, we're all in somewhat agreement that this all started a few months ago. The LUAS drivers were all like, we're not being paid enough, and then all collapsed from there, okay?
54%.
So, when that happened, okay, I just sort of was sitting there thinking to myself, at what stage is there a lad sitting in the LUAS, okay, pushing his lever forward real slow, right? And it's like, the light's red. So he stops it and he thinks, I'm not getting paid enough for this. Like, at what stage do you go, stop, go, stop, go, stop? Something that like my 2-year-old does on their toy.
See, it's a little bit more complicated than that, because when they get to the end of the stop, they have to exit through a glass door and go to the other end of the building.
That's way too hard. That's way too
Well, yeah, because
that's why they're pay twice as much, because they're driving both ends of the LUAS.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like driving like 2 buses. But we get
Yeah.
And it's not like Dublin Bus where you have to memorize the route before you become a bus driver.
the route's laid out for you. You can't go off your route. Like, it's crazy.
Like the thing that really gets on my tits is that like from
Unless you're that fucking retard who ran through a Dublin Bus one of the couple of years back.
That's both their fault, so neither of them should have striked, like, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just it. So what I find annoying is that like this whole thing sparked obviously from the LUAS thing, and now it's like everyone feels that they're entitled to more money for like
Doing
basic ass jobs. At the end of the day, like they require not a whole lot of knowledge. I know the LUAS is obviously like I think you need to do some sort of training for that. I don't know.
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks of training. So there's bus training for that as well, but it's not a fucking complicated job. Like it's child's play.
I'll give the bus drivers more leeway. They have more control with the vehicle, and they also have to deal with customers more.
Yeah, deal with people.
Whereas the LUAS drivers are in their own little box. They don't get called arseholes and dickheads. Don't have
I mean, they are.
I don't think I've ever seen a LUAS driver.
You don't. So the bus drivers have to deal with the public more and may incorporate more abuse. I've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah.
So they have a bit more leeway, but still, the job is an automatic bus, accelerator, brake, turn.
You don't even turn.
It's not like you don't even turn. It's just you don't even turn.
The bus.
Oh, the bus. The LUAS still.
Chris, this is play school level stuff. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Not like I get the whole like we're getting abuse off people, but it's like at what stage is like I should make more than a doctor because I go from this stop to that stop to that stop, and your man call me an arsehole. Like people call me an arsehole, people call me an arsehole at home. I'm not gonna start charging me ma 15 quid an hour. Like
the whole main point of the strike, obviously the current Eireann one is they're not getting paid enough for their overtime. They're cutting their overtime pay.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. And,
Which no one's entitled to.
Yeah.
You get it, but you're not entitled to it.
Especially like the company is like in serious debt.
Oh yeah, they're going under.
They're going under, and the first thing like that any company does that's in trouble is like, oh, we gotta pay our employees a bit less, and they're just like, no.
I think it's more of a problem with the unions rather than the employees themselves.
Unions bring no benefit. You lose money every week.
No idea. And country, but they're all garbage anyway. Sip to whatever teachers.
They're all shy.
Jesus.
But like literally, what do they do for you? They take money off you every week, and then
They tell you to stop working when everyone else does.
Exactly, like
That's
I
real
want to
good.
put, I want to put food in my belly. I know some people have, families, so they have more responsibility to need to make money. Yeah, we union guys who make fuck tons every year, we're going to tell you guys who may be struggling in life to stop working and get paid less.
They also give everyone who's on strike like 20 quid a day or something.
Strike pay is
Here, don't go to work. Oh, you have a family to feed. Here's like a scar.
Yeah, but what
Go
about
get
that
some
recent?
sweets.
What about that recent Eireann strike that was pretty much illegal? Did they get paid for that? Did they get
Probably.
strike pay for that?
Probably.
Oh, we're going to strike right in front of the Dublin Bus depot so no one can live.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Right, so today.
You're gonna choke me.
Yeah. Today.
I'm choking up.
I'm choking so disgusted at what's going on. Today was the day that they announced that the bus Eireann strike's ending. Today or yesterday, depending when this video goes up. But I found the funniest thing when I was looking it up, and I remember looking at the news title, and it was like the title like 16 hours ago. Dublin Bus are going to strike in solidarity with Eireann, and then 2 hours later, Bus Eireann have called off.
And the Dublin Bus lads are just like, oh fuck.
We don't even know.
Man,
Like,
these fucking dubs, we want nothing to do with them.
I feel like that was sort of like a playground thing where it was all like, oh, no one wants to play with me, and the little kid that no one likes, like the little ugly one's like, I'll play with you, Jordan.
Got a little bit of a-
No,
okay, I don't want to play anymore.
I don't want to play anymore. It's fine.
Much like Roman.
Insult the cool guy.
It's more of a problem with the unions than, you know.
As I said, the unions provide no benefit, only negatives. They say, "Oh, power to the people." Yeah, fuck off. I've never seen.
Am I right in saying that the public is not behind?
Oh, the
No,
public,
no
no,
way.
no.
Obviously,
They're
people are.
stopping the country. Like
yeah.
these strikes
Yeah.
are pretty
Yeah.
much stopping the fucking country.
But
Like,
when the Dublin bus strike was on, yeah, alright, it's a pain in the hole. You could use a train around Dublin. There was some private bus companies you can use. When Bus Eireann strike, people in Cork, Galway,
that's what I'm saying.
Limerick,
Like, yeah.
they've no transport at all.
Yeah, like I know I'm living in Dublin now, but I'm from the country. Like I usually go home every week, and I can't even do that because this fucking Bus Eireann strike. I can't see my fucking girlfriend because this Bus Eireann strike.
Thank Christ, am I right?
She's gonna see this video.
Let it in after all.
Yeah, no, but it's just like it's stopping the whole country, and they're saying, oh yeah, whatever, like for the union, power to the people and all that. But like they're fucking over so many in their step.
It's
to get more
it's
money.
not power to the people. It's just it's just the what was it like 2,000 drivers they have or something.
Yeah.
Just them. I mean they're fucking over the public.
Yeah,
altogether.
they're fucking over everyone completely. Like,
But even, I think Jordan mentioned, today they blocked off the Irish Rail and Dublin bus depots. Right, so let's say you're down in Cork. I can't get the Bus Eireann from outside my gaff. I'll walk 20 minutes up the road to the train station. You can't even do that.
Yep.
They literally brought the country to its knees for what? To get more money to do fuck all work.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. They're
Like-
costing the country millions. Like
Yeah.
I remember, like when the train strikes were on, it was like for like a day or two.
But they
And
told you. They told you.
Yeah, but it still cost the country like the country lost like I think it was like 10 million euro.
Not surprised.
That like one day, and this has been going on for like 3 weeks
Trains are
now.
expensive.
Well, trains are more expensive than the bus,
Yeah.
but like it's still like costing the country so much money.
It's not
and, like,
just the
do they
money.
not give a shit?
Especially when Bus Eireann is already so far under.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not even costing the country the money you make off your ticket sales.
It's
people
costing,
going
like,
to
yeah.
places and then spending their money there
Yeah.
and then going home. It's like coming from Trim to Dublin, buying your things and then going home. None of that's happened. So
That'll
Business-
knock down
There's
effect.
already so many people, like, you know, the bus drivers are like, yeah, we're doing this so we can get a bit more money. But then, like, half the country has spent twice as much on petrol and diesel because of the drive everywhere now.
yeah.
I know so many people that have literally spent twice as much on petrol.
if
because
you
of
have
this.
the option of driving, if you don't drive, because why would you need? Some people don't drive because public transport is a thing.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't need to drive. Some people, if public transport is a thing, but when you don't drive and public transport is not a thing, you literally don't have any choice.
Yeah, you're
I'm
isolated.
gonna hop on my bike and cruise up to
There's
Dublin.
like
Yeah.
so many stories. Like I read in the paper, there was like somebody like up in bloody Donegal that had like a specialist appointment in Dublin.
The
You know,
matter,
she,
yeah.
she was waiting like 5 years, and she couldn't make it down, and they had to like reschedule that to who knows when.
Crazy.
But it's, you know, that person's appointment was lost. But when you have these specialist doctors whose time is pretty precious because they have a lot of people to work with, it's not that her appointment was lost and they replaced it with someone else. Because she lost her appointment so last minute, they couldn't even replace that appointment. So that's just a complete waste of time. That can be someone's eyesight fucked. The matters be they specialise in the eyes. So let's say someone's eyesight. That can be someone's eyesight fucked when, you know, it could have been dealt with.
Yeah, like there's too much on the line for public transport to be completely like gone for even like a couple of days, never mind a week or how fucking long it's gone on so far. Like there's way too much on the line like for the public, and this, like as you were saying right there with different examples, like it's like it shouldn't have gone on this long. It's the only time though I'll agree, because I think Bus Eireann are a shower of wankers, right? I've been with them for years. If you're watching this video, you're a shower of fucking wankers.
But thanks for watching.
Like,
comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. But I'm just saying that this is the only time I'll agree with them, because with the LUAS guys, they wanted a raise. They got
54%.
I don't know what it was agreed on, but it was settled in the end. I don't know what Bus Eireann are asking for exactly, but
Bus Eireann are just giving out because they're
The
overtime.
overtime, yeah,
The overtime's getting taken away.
yeah, I'm glad Bus Eireann aren't fucking agreeing with these people, because if people keep going on strike different companies or whatever, then it's just gonna keep snowballing on, and people are gonna be like, oh, maybe I should get more money in like different areas completely.
Yeah, but
And
I work in a petrol
shit hits the
station.
fan.
I'm gonna strike.
Yeah, see,
Michael,
that's what-
see, I'm not coming to work next week.
That's what happened because like the LUAS strike and then like bus strike and train strike and then it
Watch
just
now,
like
you'll fucking watch
can't-
this video. Fire
Michael,
your ass.
please don't fire me, please.
it would obviously be really bad if like just strikes became a popular thing.
Yeah.
And like a strike is one thing. Like if you know like a big shop strikes. I remember
Tesco.
like Tesco strike. Like you know I think Dunn's striked a while ago or
They
whatever.
strike every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
Dunn's
But, like,
and St.
when
Paul's and
public
shit, also.
transport strikes,
This
it's huge.
well, like I
It
think
sounds
like
it sounds like a weather emergency when public transport strikes.
What are they even asking for though? Like that's the thing. People are like, my Facebook list is very split down the middle. Some people are like, oh fucking bastards, I can't get to work. And other people are all like, everyone has a right to strike. And I'm like, yeah, everyone has a right to strike.
For valid reasons.
With the Tesco workers, I know a few of them. I heard what was happening to them, and it was awful. Like people who have worked for them years were getting brought down to minimum wage, and their hours were being cut. And I'm like, jeez, that's terrible to just find out one day your whole livelihood is just fucked over.
The money you support
But
your
with
family
this one, yeah, with this, like the public transport, it's LUAS drivers, train drivers, bus drivers, and all. They're all like, oh yeah, our wages aren't good enough. It's like, if you're making over a minimum wage,
I think
there's someone worse off than
I
you.
think
should they make more? You know in Ireland for anyone who's not from Ireland, when you go to college and you need a grant, your parents or whatever, or you if you're a mature student or whatever, you need to earn under a certain amount to get a grant, which will pay for your college tuition fees, and you'll get maintenance every month, so you can pay like for travel or whatever. But the LUAS drivers and everything and bus drivers are already make over that.
Over
And
the threshold.
over the
themselves, like,
threshold.
yeah.
Whereas like I know like I get a grant, so my parents don't even make that, and my dad had to go to college and shit for his stuff, and he doesn't even get paid as much as they do. So like
That's the gangster fella, yeah.
yeah, he sells heroin on the side as well. So obviously
But that's on cash.
Yeah, but that's
cash
handling.
That's
Yeah,
cash
so that's cash in hand. So like obviously that doesn't get counted. But still, for his legitimate job, he doesn't earn as much as LUAS drivers, and he's like, he has way more qualifications than LUAS drivers and bus drivers. Like all a bus driver needs is a fucking license,
Yeah.
and you memorize a route.
And not to take
Well.
shit off kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair.
But
He
that's
doesn't
more
get- he doesn't get
general
called
what's
wanker every
happening in
day.
the economy
Not-
now.
Not by his employees, by
where-
members, but-
Really, you can have many number of pieces of paper, but it all depends on who you know and did you get asked the right questions at the right time, rather than I have XYZ number of papers.
Not
Well, if that's the
necessarily.
case, like, if that's the case, there's people being all like, oh, my mate is going to give me this job in the LUAS, right? And then you get the job and you're all like, I'm not happy with this 15 quid an hour. I need more. It's like, there's plenty of people. I would drive a LUAS because I'm looking at the jobs that I'm looking for after I get this degree. You're doing well on €15 an hour, you know,
Yeah.
especially without a college qualification. And like anyone else who's like, oh, I got a license, I done my training course, and now I got this job, and I'm not happy with it. It's like,
You don't
well,
even
someone
need a
else
LUAS.
would be.
You don't even need a license for LUAS. You just need the training course.
It's like basically if you can play video games, you can drive a LUAS because it's forward backwards.
When me and us went to DCC last summer, got the LUAS and I sat behind the LUAS driver and watched him. Lever, go faster, maintain speed. Slow down, maintain speed.
If you sat behind me and work and watched me for like 20 minutes, I'd want to fucking raise too, Ron. that one driver should get a raise. All the others are like.
But
This is how this started. It was DCC last year. He fucking started this.
That creepy ginger cunt. I don't get paid enough for this. That's totally fair. Whoever you are, sir, if you're watching this, we will send you the money, okay? That's totally Ronan's fault.
The
Ronan,
money,
you
the
have
money
to
this
collapse
video
in the
makes is
country.
going to you. It's being donated to you.
This is how I become a dictator, boys.
Oh, Christ. No, like.
But like watching what they do, it's so basic. There's a few buttons for doors and bells and shit. There's nothing intensive. There's nothing intellectually challenging. You just keep her lit.
If they're getting over the minimum hours required and under the maximum hours that they're not allowed to get, and they're getting over minimum wage, happy days. I've worked 2 jobs now where they got me on loopholes where it's like, oh, you're not getting minimum wage. And like, it was legal for them to do it. But any of you who I told that were like, shit, I didn't know they could do that. And they can.
I still don't think they can do that.
I looked into it.
And
So I looked into it and like they can totally do it, but I'm sitting here like I know I didn't do that for a living and stuff, but I do have a kid and I do need money to get into college and shit. And you're there looking at these people who are making 13, 14 quid an hour. Like, and nurses aren't making as much as these are.
My sister makes fuck all.
Childcare assistants aren't making as much as these are. Like, there's so many reputable, like, positions where you do need a good education to get these positions, and you're not making as much. And the reason for it is because you care. The nurses of Ireland could go on strike. The childcare assistants of Ireland could go on strike, and they don't because they know how detrimental.
Exactly.
But like, if they turned around right and they were told by their
law, the only strike is the government.
If all the nurses of Ireland were told by whatever administration they're part of, like, you go on strike and the country will be fucked and they'll have to give you the money, they'd go for it. Yeah. But all the nurses will turn around and say, you know how many people would die if we done that?
So many.
And like, it's the same with the childcare assistants where it's all like, we could go on strike. And they done like a pseudo one there recently where they like took a half day or whatever. And that was just to sort of like test the waters. But if they'd done a strike, the country would just be like, oh, I can't come into work today, I have to look after my 3 kids. It's like, well, you're a surgeon. Oh, tough. Fucking drag me off my airline or whatever, but I can't come into work today. Like, what I'm saying is...
No, the point against that I seen was one of our peers, I won't say their name, but they shared someone's status about a bus driver who was defending himself on social media openly. And he was saying, one of the points he was saying that, we have to cater for, we have to look after a lot of lives. As in, he's responsible for a lot of lives in the bus. And that would be, their counterpoint to what you were saying about
if I go out on a bicycle, I'm responsible for a busload of lives in case I crash into a bus.
Yeah, no.
His argument is just being with my job, I do it.
The thing I'm saying is that, why would you have a psychopath that's willing to crash a fucking busload into a wall?
You have a bunch of cunts' lives in your hand, yet you still break down in 5 minutes.
It's like what's the fucking movie with Keanu Reeves, Driver? Where they're on the bus and he can't slow down.
Speed.
Speed.
Fuck this, I'm striking after. Christ. It was like,
I have all these people's lives in my hands.
Anyone who works in McDonald's holds hundreds of people's lives in their hands. They're just like, oh, I need to make sure no bleach gets into that burger. Like, what a stupid fucking argument. Like, any occupation can be escalated.
That the current strike situation is very reminiscent of the UK. The UK many 2 or 3 decades ago, where there were strikes, many sectors of the economy striked, where you could see it leading on to other, leading into other.
Yeah.
That was genuine terrible working conditions. This is, I'm not getting enough euro.
It was also a very severe recession.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day,
our fucking polished millennial asses don't.
there is a company that is in the shit and has been for a while, and they've been losing money for years.
Yeah.
And
because their fucking drivers keep going on strike.
Yeah,
we don't have the money to pay us, so then we're not going to work.
Companies losing money, they have to make cuts, and unfortunately, the first thing to be cut is when the recession happened. All these sort of everybody got a pay cut, and the whole fucking country didn't strike. I mean, at the end of the day, the company is losing money. And they need to make cuts.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get on a Dublin bus if it becomes Dublin Tandem Bicycle, because the cunt at the front of the bicycle is making 20 quid an hour. But they made cuts here and there, and now you're riding a bike. Whatever. Fucking, if they came out and said, oh, Dublin Bus are making us work 60 hours a week and they're giving us €7 an hour, I'd be like, fuck those guys, you guys go on strike, I'll crawl to college, right? The second they're making over minimum and getting the right hours, it's like, okay, now yous are just being a bit like, someone will do that job, and if you're not happy, don't do the job.
Not even over minimum.
Also, something that hasn't been mentioned is automation, where we see in some European countries, the stuff like the LUAS is coming all computer based. They actually trials in some where there's a job there. Oh wait, there's no jobs. Everything's going to, for example, automated in terms of robots and everything else. You can see
sooner the better.
Well, I'm not getting into that.
That doesn't always necessarily the case. Like you're saying, when they bring in computers or it gets rid of jobs, not necessarily.
I know. They have a different kind of. There'll be different kind of jobs. There won't be completely lost of God. There'll be different kind of jobs where they're in terms of maintenance and maintenance and upkeep of the system rather than the driver themselves.
Sure, that's grand, because then if you have an automated driver, you give him all the abuse you want.
You're saying
Thank you.
Going to the point that he's saying about mental abuse. Imagine the amount of money that the bus drivers have to spend on drugs to keep themselves sane. To keep themselves sane, like 10 people a day going, "Oh, you're fucking cunt."
I mean, especially in Finglas. I mean,
They go home, they probably cry themselves to sleep
and-
every night.
me
We
and
don't know
Red
what they
Lad
go through.
The
We're
way
not bus
society is
drivers.
getting, where it's like, what was the fucking thing there a few weeks ago where one was trying to sue the bus driver for calling
Scan call.
a skank. He called me a fucking skank. A bus driver called a woman a fucking skank, and she tried to sue them because the whole Irish thing was on, like, something happened to me, so I'm gonna
and
sue
that
for
shit got
millions.
dropped faster than not.
And the judge read it and was on
Money
like,
in this country.
the judge read it and went, "Were you being a fucking skank?" And she went, "Well, yeah." And she went, "I'll get fucking."
That's it, like, that's
Bitch
it.
fucking laid it down the ground, didn't pick it up before she got on the bus.
Fucking skank.
That's the way the country's going, where it's like,
Did
we're getting so much abuse that we should strike. It's not like you're gonna get abused. It's Dublin Bus, right? You're in Dublin. I'd walk down the street, see someone I haven't seen in 10 years, good pal of mine, and like,
fucking
"Oh, what's up,
sick,
you
mate."
fucking bastard!" Like, that's
That's
the
a
shit you
compliment.
get.
It's a compliment, yeah.
Like, if you're not thick-skinned enough to be in a public job, okay, is a better way of saying get over being called a fucking skank. Like, if you're going to work with the public and you cannot deal with the public being arseholes, which the public are,
Yeah, working in retail, you see it every day.
don't work with the public, okay?
Yeah.
You're told when you go for Dublin Bus at the interview, how are you with people? Yeah, I'm grand. And then the kid gets on and is like, "You're an arsehole." "No, me bus. I'm not driving this bus. I'm not driving this bus until he gets up." I've seen
Come here, you bleeding cunt.
I've seen a bus stop
Reef
and
something.
refuse to go because someone called him an arsehole. And I was sitting there like, the driver was being a bit of an arsehole.
Well, if he wasn't then, he is fucking now.
Well, you might not be an arsehole. We are
I'll show you an arsehole.
Just like sit in the back of us here, arsehole, drive the bus.
Well, like, yeah, no. If you can't take a little bit of abuse, you jump in the job.
Sure, everyone gets a little bit of abuse.
Yeah,
I
you
come
should
to
just
college
go.
every day and everyone in my college course abuses me. I don't drop out.
Yeah, look at this shit coming.
But I've worked in retail.
That's because your dad's a
This
fucking heroin.
retard here.
They don't know that.
Right. So, guys, that was our 2 cents on the topic.
That was actually my 5 cents. I don't know.
Hopefully, by the time this video goes up, Bus Eireann will be off strike and you'll be on a Bus Eireann bus. Dublin Bus might be on strike, but maybe they'll call that off since Dublin Bus have called theirs off.
Or we could,
Dublin Bus.
or they could reject the proposals, or we will go back to strikes.
Or you could be cycling to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us
Sure,
know what
yeah.
you think of the whole thing in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next quickie. Bus
See you,
Eireann's your
boys.
guns!
Ah.